Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.
Hey guys, it's me, Raina, host of Dreams and Drive. Before we jump into today's episode, we have a quick word from one of our sponsors.
To all the HBCU students making moves, listen up. For over 20 years, McDonald's has been at the side of college hopefuls. And with over $1 million in funding this year through the Black and Positively Golden Scholarship, Mickey D's is helping HBCU students rise and flourish into their graduating roles. This scholarship season, get ready to take your place when you apply for a McDonald's Black and Positively Golden Scholarship. Visit mcdblackscholars.com to apply now. Applications close on April 25th, 2025.
Hey Dream Driver, so we have another solo episode today. Today we're going to be talking about how you can be undeniably you and some tips I have for building confidence in yourself. This is such an important topic as Dream Drivers. A lot of us are out here in the world. We are just trying to keep going, but not realizing the big thing that it will be a source of fuel for us all is our inner confidence. So I want to take you through an example of my own life and how leaning into something that I was really kind of ashamed of and didn't embrace has helped me build confidence, and how that has spread in so many other areas of my life. Remember, if this is your first time listening, hello, make sure that you subscribe to us and make sure you go back and check out the other 400 something episodes of this podcast that are filled with so many tips for anyone who is looking for ways and inspiration and encouragement about how you can take your dreams out of drive and into park. We need to get unstuck, and we can do that together. So thank you for tuning in today. So this is going to be a really, really quick episode, guys. But I wanted to talk about this idea of building confidence and being undeniably you, and why leaning into that is so important. I'm going to also be drawing from a past episode because I listened to it the other day, and there was so much in it that really just made me think about how confidence is built and what we can do in our own lives to make sure that we have that. So here's the story. Story time now. How can I say this? You guys hear my voice every day whenever you listen to this podcast, but for most of my life, my voice was something that I didn't love. I didn't embrace. I felt like it was different. It was baby sounding. People always ask me, how old are you? I just felt like it was something that I couldn't control, and it was just a part of myself that, you learn to live with it because you can't really change it. I could go like this, and I could talk like this. There's so many ways that you can manipulate your voice, but your base voice will be whatever your base voice is. And so I was re-listening to a past episode of the podcast. That episode was episode 313 with Craig Robinson, and that actually was like a replay, but the most recent one, if you don't want to scroll down too far, is 313 with Craig Robinson. That's Michelle Obama's brother. He's also a Princeton alum. I got to know him when working with him on a steering committee for a Black alumni at Princeton conference. And talking to him, I realized not only number one, it was interesting. Let me go back. There's a part in the podcast where just from the upfront, and we were doing it in person, so that's also a different dynamic. This happened, I want to say this was 2019 that we did the original recording, over 6 years ago. That's crazy. So we're in person, and the first thing I say to him, I'm like, so what made you want to say yes, right? I think sometimes just it's a good way to have an icebreaker for these interviews. He told me, Black alum, sister trying to do her thing, and then he was like, and I liked your voice. And it's interesting because I also had an early guest, Tyrese Trevor, also tell me that he liked my voice. And I get people a lot of times who are like, your voice is very unique. And it just made me realize there's so many things about us that other people point out to us, and we try to say, oh no, it's not cool, and we spend so much time trying to run away from the thing that makes us us. But if you tap into that thing that you might be really uncomfortable with, and you tap into something that makes you feel a little uncomfortable and learn to embrace this thing, that can really be the key differentiator for you in your life. And that can be something that you don't even realize is your superpower. All right, let's take a quick break and hear from today's sponsors. Hey, Dream Drivers. So there's this new podcast from Audible I'm really excited about, Self-Conscious with Chrissy Teigen. It's a safe space to embrace the twists and turns of personal growth, one conversation at a time. No judgments, just the real about what this all means and great conversations along the way. I really love that Chrissy's personality is so down to earth and how she's putting a spotlight on the ups and downs of what it means to be figuring this thing called life out. You can hear from Chrissy weekly as she talks to her guests about life-changing ideas and concepts and sharing practical tools for everyday life. I'm talking inspiring, dope guests like Mel Robbins, Nidra Glover-Tawwab, Adam Grant, and Gabby Bernstein. And you know we're all on this road to bettering ourselves, so this podcast needs to be on your must-listen list. There's something here for everyone, no matter what stage of the journey you're on, and some of the tools the guests share are just what I need with where I am with figuring out this new stage of life that I'm in. Self-Conscious with Chrissy Teigen, the new wellness podcast from Audible. Expand your self-awareness, gain valuable insights, and become more self-conscious. New episodes drop each week. Go to audible.com/Chrissy Podcast or wherever you get your podcasts and start listening today.
You don't wake up dreaming of McDonald's fries. You wake up dreaming of McDonald's hash browns. McDonald's breakfast comes first. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Get more than you expect with the $5 meal deal, part of New McValue. 5 gets you a McDouble or McChicken and a small fry and a small drink and a 4-piece McNuggets. Woo! New McValue at McDonald's. Prices of participation may vary. McDouble meal $6 in some markets for limited time only.
And I say that because the things that make us unique and make us stand out are what other people notice. And there's this idea of your brand is not what you think it is, it's what other people say it is. And it's so important for us to remember that. And so for me, hearing, Craig, who is very, he's older than me, he's had a lot of experience in life, being around his sister, I'm pretty sure that he's been around tons of speakers. But for him to really say to me, hey, Raina, did you know your voice is very unique, is very captivating, and you leverage that? And it really made me think about, what are the ways before then that I was showing up and not using my voice? And how can me leaning into using my voice be a way for me to build confidence? And the biggest things, I get a lot of people, I went back to one of my listener surveys, and a lot of people talk about they're struggling with confidence or struggling with confidence or struggling with confidence. What can they do to be better? And I think the big thing is you have to address the elephant in the room. What is it that you are not confident about? And for me, I'll take you through a little example. So for me, if it was my voice, that means I'm either going to number one, try to alter my voice. I'm going to try to not speak up because I feel like people are judging me. And addressing these big elephants in the room will help you actually indeed then build the confidence. Because if I say, hey, right, I'm going to make the decision, which a lot of our life is about making decisions and being intentional about following through on whatever it is that you then decided that you're going to do. So if I said to myself, hey, I'm going to stop playing small when it comes to my voice. I am going to speak up more. I am going to make sure that my voice is heard, although it is hard. Once I started stepping into saying, this is how I want to show up, that's when things started flowing. And I say that because, being a podcaster was probably one of the biggest things I ever done. And my tool is my voice. Imagine a place where you can unwind and relax. IKEA can help turn your bedroom into a calm oasis. From comfy mattresses to the perfect lights, we've got everything to create your dream bedroom so you can sleep like a baby. And the best part, all at incredible prices. Head to IKEA and grab everything you need. Get ready to rest, dream, and wake up feeling refreshed. Shop today at your local store or at ikea-usa.com/sleep-es. And get it delivered straight to your door with our convenient delivery services.
To all the HBCU students making moves, listen up. For over 20 years, McDonald's has been at the side of college hopefuls. And with over $1 million in funding this year through the Black and Positively Golden Scholarship, Mickey D's is helping HBCU students rise and flourish into their graduating roles. This scholarship season, get ready to take your place when you apply for a McDonald's Black and Positively Golden Scholarship. Visit mcdblackscholars.com to apply now. Applications close on April 25th, 2025.
So unless I'm going to use AI now and have somebody else speaking to y'all, like, that's not going to happen. So I had to make this deliberate, intentional decision that, all right, you might not like your voice, but you're still going to use it. And just the very fact of doing it, then you start to realize, wow, like, spending time with yourself, spending time with your voice and realizing, why am I being so unkind to something that is so unique? And when you get that validation, and I'm not saying that you need the validation, but getting that validation once you start putting yourself out there will also help serve as a confidence as well. Like when you have enough people tell you, and I mean, this doesn't happen all the time, but when people are starting to validate some of your fears, that it doesn't have to be a fear. Wow, your voice is very unique. Wow, your voice is very calming. Wow, your voice made me interested in tuning in. That is a differentiating factor, and that's something that makes you stand out. And I think a lot of us are trying to find ways to stand out. And when we figure that out, that really helps us build confidence. So I would say tap into things that are undeniably you and create a space for those things to thrive. And in the very act of thriving, that's when you'll be able to build a confidence within yourself. And I don't know how this plays out for, there's a lot of different variations of how this can play out, but you have to, number one, be kind to yourself along that journey when you're building confidence. It's not always going to be easy, but I think the very act of trying and the very act of just practicing, it's kind of like if you're practicing for a speech or a talk or something. In the beginning, you're not very confident. In the beginning, you might be fearful that you don't remember it. But if you're putting in enough work, enough time, enough effort, by the night before that big speech, you will have had so much more practice, so much more validation and examples of yourself, of you delivering and being able to be successful, that also is a big factor in building your confidence. And I think, like, now that I'm thinking back, building confidence comes with also leaning into something that you know that you can have results with. And for me, it was showing up every week and realizing my voice, this thing that you guys are hearing right now, has helped impact so many other people. And when you're able to see the impact, that's also something I hope that you realize, like, you have something within you that can cause an impact, a positive impact that you really, really want in your life. So, short episode, be undeniably you, get uncomfortable. And in that getting uncomfortable, you're going to be challenged. But when you're able to overcome some challenge, or when you're able to see what happens on the other side of the rainbow or the other side of the gully, whatever it is, like, that resilience, those tough times build tough character, and that tough character sometimes can help build this armor around you that you feel prepared to enter any room and speak. And although it might sound juvenile at times, or sometimes people might say, oh, depending upon how excited I am, how high-pitched my voice is, like, I'm not scared to talk. And I know that when I talk, people will remember what I have to say because my voice is unique, or because it was able to capture your attention. So lean into that stuff, guys. Whatever that is for you, take some time, get a little notepad, write that down, because it's super important that we lean into these things that might make us feel a little uncomfortable. Really hope that this short episode helps you. Remember, we are dream drivers. We're tackling one small thing at a time to help us take our dreams out of park and into drive. Make sure that you are following us across the board. We are Dreams and Drive on all the social medias. And if you want to be part of our newsletter, The Road Trip, and get updates from me where I take you on a trip down memory lane, just go to dreamsanddrive.com/join. That's dreamsanddrive.com/join. All right, keep dreaming, keep driving, and we will chat again in the next episode.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.